Well, welcome back DIY car guys and car girls, and today we have a lot to talk about. Yep, all of that. So today, that's what we're doing. Man, look how organized I am. I have a whole freaking spreadsheet right here of everything to talk about today because I got a lot. But first, I want to give a shout out to Brandon Money Marlowe. This first pass I'm going to show you guys is when he went 11.2. But he backed that up right after that with a 1099. I remember I was talking to him at the track that day. He was saying, I don't care if I go a 1099 with a 9. I just want to get this thing 1090s in the quarter mile in my fire chicken. That is an NA setup, and he got that from another person that kind of threw it in there. So I don't know what the specifics are of that motor, but what I can tell you is the next motor we're going to talk about, which is the 357 cubic inch LT1, which is right over there. You guys have seen that. I kind of had a whole bunch of videos on it. Let's go over the two best times that motor ran motor and on nitrous. Now this motor, let's first go over the particulars of it. Is a 357 cubic inch LT1. It has my own custom built, or I guess custom thrown together, 750 carburetor with annular boosters. The engine info, let me go over this real quick. Okay, let's start from the intake. Let's work our way down. The intake is a YN Team G, has the large plenum YN. And remember, this is a Gen2 small block, or Gen2 LT1. GM made so many LT1s that it's gotten ridiculous. I wonder what goes on in their board meetings. So we got a brand new motor, guys. What are we going to call it? An LT1. Didn't y'all call a motor LT1 in the 70s? Yeah, so what? Let's call it an LT1. But anyways, it's a Gen2 LT1. Has a YN Team G intake. Had to change the bolt pattern for it to bolt on. Remember, no water goes through the intake on a Gen2 motor. I got videos on that and people call me crazy, but it's whatever. Now, the heads are stock 93 heads, which I home ported to 198 cc's. That's the intake runner. 52 cc is on the combustion chamber, so it's a real teeny combustion chamber. It's got a forged eagle rotating assembly, 12-volt compression, and it's got a custom built solid roller, that is. And Dennis Staff at Fast Cat Porting Services, he put that cam together. Let's go over some numbers real quick, and here are the numbers. We'll go just the big numbers. We'll go over the lift. It's got 592 on the intake and exhaust. It's a 110 lope separation, and it's got duration at 50 is 260, 266. So it's a pretty decent, healthy, solid roller for a street solid roller. But I did put hydraulic roller springs off of LS on those heads. If you guys want to see the whole build in this, I have playlist on this stuff. So you want to, redo this setup, you definitely can, because I did it. So let's first go over the dyno. So here's the first dyno pull on this guy. I went to Joe's shop, and this was NA. here is the nitrous hit. This is tuned a little bit, and it roughly got about 168, wheel horsepower. It was a 150 shot that I jetted up slightly on the nitrous side to kind of lean it out, and it did make pretty good power. I mean, that motor, whenever you put nitrous to it, it incrementally went up. Unlike this guy right here at ethanol, but we'll get to that later on. So here is the nitrous hit on that, and Joe's dyno also.
$11.2 basically.
Yeah, it's definitely a little fat, but
11.3.
So if you want to run 990s in a quarter, you can do it with the LT1 in an S10 with 545 wheel horsepower and roughly about 150 shot of nitrous. That was like 160 something. I can't remember the exact shot. Have to go look at the dyno charts, but roughly 160 more wheel horsepower from NA running 10s. You can definitely run a 990 in a quarter in an S10 with stock heads. You could probably do it with a stock rotating assembly if you get the rings that was really balanced good. The only reason why mine has a good rotating assembly in it is because I hurt the old one on nitrous a long time ago. But if you want to be able to beat up on it a little more, a good rotating assembly is definitely going to help you out a lot. So stock heads, good intake, a carburetor that I threw together. If I can do it, I know you can do it too. And of course, there's going to be supporting mods. You're going to need the right gearing, a good stall. If you have a big cam like that one, it's not a really big cam, but it's a decent sized cam for the street. And also on nitrous, I was using 110 race gas, but when I ran that 1080, it was 93 pump gas and the old LT1 right here. I wasn't going to do two videos. I wasn't going to compare the LT1 to the 400, but I really can't do that because the LT1 has stock blocks, stock heads. It has an aftermarket intake, but it's just standard stuff that anyone can really buy. So if you guys want to do, oh, and also it was shorty headers on the LT1. I didn't even have long tubes like I got on the 400 right here. So for the next video, we'll be going over the 400 because I learned a lot with this 400. I was thinking I'll go to this big motor and I was making the most baller passes I could possibly make. But really, the LT1 and that guy are pretty close matched as far as like the times they ran. Not horsepower, but the times they ran. And it took me quite a while to get this 400 over here to actually hook up and go down the track with nitrous and everything else. So in my next video, we'll talk about the 400 and how you can run low 10s motor and then in the 9s on nitrous. Take care. See you next time.